What's up, Cough Country? Welcome back. Steve with the news. Ahead, you didn't know who it was, and I know why you're here. Time for the news. And we're starting off with 420. The holiday is coming up. The day of days for cannabis. Really the only holiday it's got. People all over the world are making plans to celebrate their 420, and I hope yours don't include going to the Bay Area because San Francisco just tried to cancel 420. I will tell you why and what they're doing about it in just a minute. And then we're going over to the USDA just approved of a genetically modified cannabis plant. Why would they do that to our lovely, lovely cannabis? I'll tell you what they snipped off of her and why they did it in just a minute, because we're getting into the news right now. Let's go. Cough Country News. Yes.
No sticks, no seeds, dust news.
From the Cough Country News Desk, it's Steve with your cannabis news.
Every year on 420, the sacred day of the smoke, marijuana enthusiasts and activists make the annual pilgrimage to the Haight-Ashbury neighborhood of San Francisco, the cradle of the hippie movement and the home of the summer of love. And they make their way over to the Sharon Meadows section of Golden Gate Park nearby, affectionately known as Hippie Hill. It's been an unofficial gathering of like minds for decades, celebrating the right to use cannabis. The city even started sponsoring it after California legalized weed, and crowds have numbered in the tens of thousands. But 2024 just doesn't look like it's the year. Organizers have officially canceled 420 at Hippie Hill. They're saying citywide cutbacks and financial struggles with the cannabis industry prevent them from securing the necessary funds to put on the festival. The gathering at Hippie Hill started out and was for a lot of years an unofficial celebration. Technically, people gathered peacefully. They would hang out, play music, share food. People would sell their wares on blankets spread out on the lawn. And of course, there was plenty of cannabis to go around. It got so popular that in 2016, right before California passed Proposition 64 that would legalize cannabis, the city government threatened to ban the whole thing unless precautions were put in place, of course. That was a reckless year for 420. The crowds were unruly, insane traffic blocked up the whole town. There was even reports of violence. People were getting robbed. And 420ers left behind 22,000 pounds of garbage for the city to clean up. Yeah, 22,000 pounds. So in 2017, it became a city-sanctioned event. They put up fencing, it was ticketed so no under 18 could come in. There was security, toilets, amenities. Guards and EMTs were there to make sure everyone was safe. They made sure there was no booze, no glass, not even any folding chairs or coolers were allowed in. And all the booths selling all the food, drink, whatever else, they were all sponsored and official. And all that takes money. Money the Parks and Rec Department confirmed that they do not have this year. They've been trying to reach out to the cannabis industry in the area to try to secure sponsorships so the organizers can afford everything they need to bring the gathering to city standards. But they've been coming up dry. California cannabis isn't doing too well. Let's be honest about that. The demand for legal cannabis has been shrinking over the last few years, with a lot of the customers turning to the cheaper black market that is still going strong in the state. And many legal companies are on the edge of going out of business. Everyone's just trying to survive out there. But some people that have been for years are actually happy to see the house of cards come tumbling down. They're saying that the event has become corporatized and over-regulated. The restrictions, the fences, the ID checks, they've all taken the event away from the roots of free love and cannabis rights. One resident said in reality, 420 hasn't been canceled. It's been revived. Organizers have instead put together San Francisco Weed Week, which will feature 7 nights of strain premieres and smaller events at different cannabis lounges in the city. And the Parks and Rec Department is sponsoring a kickball and volleyball tournament with cornhole and bocce ball on the site for some good old family fun. And they're asking cannabis crowds to stay away from the park this year. But I think the kickballers are in for a bit of a surprise, as the 420 community apparently has no intention of listening to the city. Diehards have already said that their plans haven't changed, and they are taking 420 at Hippie Hill back to what it was, a protest, an unofficial gathering of like minds in public space where they can smoke, play their music, and just hang out. You know, and maybe crash a game of kickball. All right, guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to be right back with a word from our sponsor. We'll have more news for you after that.
This is cannabis. And this is cannabis. And this is cannabis. And this is cannabis. When you put them all together, you've got medicine.
Thanks so much for sticking around, guys. We got more news for you. Let's get to it. So marijuana has THC, right? Hemp has CBD. So what do you call it when it doesn't have either? The USDA has officially approved of a genetically modified version of hemp that doesn't produce any THC or CBD. They're calling the new strain Badger G, and it's scientists over at the University of Wisconsin, whose mascot is Bucky the Badger, that figured it out. And instead of the two most popular cannabinoids, it produces more CBG, a non-psychoactive substance that is usually only present in significant quantities in young cannabis plants. It got the thumbs up to be grown in the U.S. after they determined the genetic alterations weren't going to pose a plant pest risk. Sometimes the chemicals that a plant What's up?